I drank a whole carton of like tropical fruit juice, so now my burps taste like mangoes. I'm pretty alright with it. It's pretty good.
Congrats.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Hey
Mango
Zero,
burps.
you remember in the old days when we were like, if we only have like three people, then it's not worth recording.
Yeah, crazy,
Yeah,
right?
that's those were those were times.
Times were had.
Hey Zero, you remember back when in the olden days of like 3 months ago, where it was like if there's only two people, it's not worth recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember those days.
did
Those
you record and then say that line again?
those were heady days. Yep.
Well, we're both here now,
Yeah,
so that's just the way it be.
that's just the way it is. Something. I'm sure that's a song. I couldn't sing it for you. Well, I couldn't sing it for you because I'm not an especially good singer. But aside from that, it's
Man,
it's
I
okay.
I've been playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Pokemon Sword and Shield uh did a lot of damage to my enjoyment of the series.
Hmm.
And Pokemon Brilliant Diamond has made me fall in love with Pokemon again. So it's just great.
Why for the damage to enjoyment and such?
Sword Pokemon Sword has a lot of problems. Whether it be the kind of lackluster story, the fact that the wild areas, while big, have no trainer battles, and there's just no real challenging end game content in general, or actually barely any end game content to begin with. The DLC did add stuff, but it there's a lot of really just not great decisions. And the online is also uh, poorly implemented. You know, just a lot of things that it just
Hmm.
eh. Um, that being said, I still do enjoy like the raids and stuff. Like the multiplayer component of Sword and Shield is just great. It's just everything that's not the multiplayer has issues.
Hmm.
Um, I think the worst, most frustrating thing about that game is the pop in because you
Hmm.
are riding through the wild area on your bike, and all of a sudden a Pokemon just pops into existence right in front of you and forces you into a battle
Hmm.
just because it didn't load fast enough.
You think they're gonna do like the gun re-release?
No,
Yeah.
no,
'Cause, I mean, they
I
did.
don't think.
They did. They did the.
Take your time. Take your time. Work it out.
Okay, they did the DLC stuff. Armor and Crown, I want to say.
Yeah, Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor.
Yeah. So I guess that might just be their updated re-release thing that they did for the other generations.
That's what they said when they were releasing the DLC.
Uh, that's perhaps a misstep. It's depressing to consider that a misstep because hey, uh, DLC and patches to fix the shit that was broken is much more consumer friendly than entirely brand new games that you have to buy again at full price that are only like somewhat changed from the originals. Uh, yeah, the former is more consumer friendly, but it sounds like they didn't actually fix the things that were wrong with the original
I would
releases.
say, having played both of them, um, the additional, the wild areas in the DLC areas are fantastic. They're varied. They're fun to explore. There's lots of things you can find, and that's nice. There's no trainers in the wild areas. These big open world areas. There's no trainers at all.
Mm.
And so for the battling component, even the Isle of Armor, which is meant to be more focused on battles, there's like 4 or 5 battles that happen in the story of that DLC, and that's it.
Mm.
It's it's not great. Um,
I I guess that's their pivot to making the games easier than they were, which they weren't especially difficult in the first place, and now they're steadily just sort of shaving away the bits that were even mildly challenging, which incidentally were usually the things that people talked about most when they played the older games.
so going back to Brilliant Diamond,
Mm.
I completed my Nuzlocke of Brilliant Diamond, and by completed I mean I failed my Nuzlocke and then completed the Elite Four anyways.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Um, because I was very used to the difficulty styles of Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Mm.
I got my butt kicked.
Yeah, I have heard Cynthia is comparable possibly to the Drano hacks in terms of difficulty. Like an actual competitive PvP team.
So here's the thing.
Hmm.
Once you get to the Elite Four, you have a rival battle, right?
Yeah.
Right before the Elite Four against Barry. And you'll notice that in that fight, all of Barry's Pokemon have held items. All of them.
Yeah.
And then you get to the Elite Four, and they have strategies with their teams.
Yeah.
I'm
Almost
talking
like
about
almost like they're elite or something.
I'm talking about a Rapidash over here that knows Hypnosis and Poison Jab. Like, if you're not prepared, you will slam your head against the wall for this thing. Calliope Mori, famous
Mm.
VTuber, was able to beat the Elite Four by having a guard chomp and spamming X attack and sword stance. And that's one way.
Mm.
But she would have lost were it not for the friendship keeping her at 1 HP when she would have died.
Yeah.
Which so that was entirely just plot armor, I guess. But um, it's very fun that
Mm.
I can go to Cynthia and she can kick my butt just like she did when I was a kid.
Mm.
And the first time I got to Cynthia, I couldn't get past her Spirit Tome. That was partially a user error, though I did the wrong move.
Mm.
And I paid the price. And my team got wiped.
Yeah.
In fact, when I first made it to the Elite Four, I wiped against the first member of the Elite Four. Because I was not prepared. I wasn't going in with foreknowledge or anything of what he may have. It's fun. It's just good, and you can refight the Elite Four and Cynthia, and they'll 2 more times, and on the third time, that's when they'll really have like the really strong team. Because like before you get the national decks, um, they're limited to the Pokemon in the normal Sinnoh decks. And as a result, you have some teams that are a bit weird. Like, for example, Flint, who is the fire member of the Elite Four, has like a drift limb and a low punny and a steelix.
Yeah, there's not enough. It's an interesting choice to have a fire Elite Four member in a generation that only had two lines that were actually fire type, and
But
one of them's a starter.
But like, let me give you an example. Has a Rapidash with a wide lens, which increases accuracy. Jolly natured and knows hypnosis, flame charge, iron tail, poison jab. Right? Then he has a sheer force Steelix with a life orb. Sheer force being an ability that removes additional effects to increase moves power by 30%. And he has Thunder Fang and Fire Fang.
Yeah.
So
it's basically full strength moves that only have a chance of causing a problem, but it removes that chance completely to make it do a fuckload more damage.
And then it goes with the life orb, and then it has an adamant nature on top of that. I mean, his Infernape killed my Infernape. Because it had a Focus Sash and Iron Fist, which increases punching moves as its ability, the hidden ability.
Wasn't Diamond and Pearl the generation, at least in the anime, that had Paul? The asshole trainer that was like the epitome of the pro player mindset of, hey, if you don't have good IVs, then I'm not going to even bother training you. I'm just going to box you and maybe breed you into something better.
Yes.
Yeah. Funny how that works. Funny how that works, actually. Yeah.
And like they only get stronger. I think the strongest Cynthia that you'll fight has a level 88 Garchomp. And all of her team is like mid to high 80s.
Yeah.
Freaking her Milotic has Marvel Scale, which increases defense, but the Pokemon's defense by 50% when it has a status ailment, and then it's holding a Flame Orb.
Yeah, I feel like the people that developed this remake, which was not Game Freak that did this one, it was
it was not
someone else.
Yeah.
I feel like they did actually play some of the fucking hardcore versions of the game that, you know, fans made, and they're like, yeah, there's actually something to this. And the people that are going to buy this game are probably the ones that played it back in the day and will actually want to challenge because they're adults now. So let's just fucking go for it.
It's ILCA who developed this, by the way. And even like the Battle Tower, which you unlock in the post game, has a master class in which you will just.
Please tell me it has something like a level 102 Giratina. Please.
I don't know exactly what's there, but I do know that there are Pokemon there that have perfect EVs and near perfect IVs, if not perfect.
That thing still is a fucking scar on my brain.
That was the worst.
It was so good, though.
It was like, oh no.
Went through like 3 of our teams.
And like, fun little bit of info. When you get the park, which you used in Gen 4 to transfer Pokemon between games, is no longer that, because you can now just use Pokemon Home.
Yeah, you can just.
Yeah. It is now Ramanas Park, and it is a place where you can catch all of the Gen 1 through 3 legendaries. Ish. I mean, not like special event ones, but like the main ones.
Still ish. You can only. I think it's the legendary birds in Diamond and the legendary dogs in Pearl, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, it is legendary dogs in Diamond, legendary birds in Pearl. So it's not. There's a bit of trading you can do, but I mean, if you really want the legendaries, they're all in Sword and Shield. But or you can trade, you know. But
Pokemon Home is maybe the best idea that they had for the series in a long time.
yeah,
Just like, hey, you want to actually complete your Pokedex? Here's a service where we can just put all of the Pokemon ever.
and fun fact, well, there is not Pokemon Home support right now. It is coming early next year for Diamond, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl.
Yeah. So start getting your shit together so you can put it all in there.
That's why I went back to Pokemon Sword so I could make sure I have my Pokemon all ready, and because I want to take them to the actually challenging Battle Tower. Because the Battle Tower in Sword and Shield is nothing. So I don't know. I'd like to be able to use them. I got a. They're doing an event. I think it just ended, but for like a shiny Eevee in like the raids, and I got a shiny Eevee made into a shiny Umbreon. Very happy about that.
What color is the shiny Umbreon? I don't actually know.
The yellow is replaced with blue.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite. Let me send a pic.
I guess it's more of a like
Look.
Umbreon seemed to kind of have a lunar theme going on compared to Sylveon, not Sylveon, the other one, Espeon. So I like the yellow, but I guess this still kind of works because once in a blue moon, I guess.
Yeah, and keeps the yellow, and it has yellow eyes instead of red eyes, so keeps an element of the yellow.
Yeah, once in a blue moon, you might see a blue Umbreon.
Yeah.
So it goes.
But I definitely have been having a lot of fun with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I have been kind of spending a lot of time in the underground, digging and doing the digging mini game.
Spheres.
Getting so many spheres, but also getting the you need certain like fragments and shards called mysterious fragments, I believe, and those allow you to unlock the legendaries that you can go capture from Romanus Park. And if you have if you can actually go, and there is a special Romanus Park encounter where you it's not a capture. You go to a room that looks a lot like the Distortion World from Platinum, and you fight against a level 100 shadowy origin form Giratina. And if you win, you get the Grisius Orb, which you use to turn Giratina into its origin form, the big snaky form. So that's really neat. It's like a little fun extra boss battle. I had a very easy time because I sent out a Gardevoir, and it copied its levitate ability, and the Giratina tried to use Earth Power on me over and over again. It didn't work. But fairy types are, it's really interesting going back to Gen 4 and there being fairy types, by the way.
Yeah, that's probably really weird. It seemed weird, like fucking Callie having to figure all that shit out on the fly because she hadn't played those ones that had fairy type. Well, she played XY, but that's it.
Because now it's like the best way to take down that Garchomp is with
fairy, obviously.
Yeah, a fairy. Just because it's holding a berry that will reduce ice damage. So it will tank your ice attack and kill your ice Pokemon. Yeah, there's still a huge post game to this game. There's a lot to do. Um, a lot of Pokemon to catch, a lot of battles to be had, additional routes that open. And people have found that the like Arceus, Shaman, and Darkrai stuff is in there, um, and will probably be unlocked with a future event.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the plates that are just sort of around, which was an
Uh,
Arceus thing, if I remember. Arceus.
yeah,
Apologies. Uh, I said it because you said it. Um, that was the thing for him, or it. I don't know. Gender
yeah.
identity of
It
God
has no.
Pokemon.
It is genderless.
Okay.
Most legendaries are. And fun fact though, you can actually get the Shaman by using a glitch from the original Diamond and Pearl.
You could just not, because it's a stupid fucking grass hedgehog that turns into a grass foal or something.
I have a friend whose favorite Pokemon is Shaman. I'm
That's
like,
sad.
good for you. I'm glad you like Shaman so much.
Someone has to.
You know, it's really weird for me going back to Gen 4 because Gen 4 was when I was first playing it. That's when I bust out the action replay.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm gonna, you know what? I've beaten this game. I want to have some fun with it. And I put in the cheats to um, catch Pokemon that are not my own and that are not wild, but are trainer Pokemon.
Mm.
And every Pokemon I catch is shiny in level 100. And I stole Cynthia's Garchomp way back when. I still have it.
Mm.
That thing had near perfect IVs. um, and I got a lot of shiny legendaries because, of course, if you're gonna actually play it when you're a kid, why not? So I have a shiny Shaman. Um, I don't really like Shaman that much, but I have one, and I had a shiny Giratina at one point, but I lost it. So I decided to make amends for my past cheating transgressions and go and try to find a shiny Giratina legitimately. And so I started soft resetting the game for like 4 days straight in front of Giratina. And gave up.
Yeah, that sounds like how that story should end. Yes.
um, I was talking to a friend, and they it was the line they said, which was, "It doesn't even look that cool. It doesn't look great. I don't like how that looks." And then I had this feeling of like, yeah, it's not really that great either. Yeah, okay, I like the original colors better anyway, and I just caught it. Uh, yeah. Well, I did have a very weird experience, which was you can dig up fossils from the underground,
Mm.
and I turned in. I had a ton of fossils, and the first one I turned in turned out to be a shiny Cranidos. This is after
Okay.
the 4 days of resetting, and I'm like, excuse me? Does this mean
If you
and
had
get
gone one more time.
and I'm just like, it's fine. It's fine. Well, I was suspicious that my game was glitched in some way because there were runs where the game would crash right as the encounter was going to start, and I'm like, I swear, if that was a shiny one, and the game just won't allow me to, and that's something that helped push me over the edge of being like, it's not worth it. Shiny Umbreon is much cooler.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, I think, is my favorite mainline Pokemon game. It it's just a game that I had a ton of fun with, and I enjoyed my Nuzlocke immensely, and I kind of want to replay it. So once the Pokemon Home support opens up, I'm probably gonna do a second run after transferring all my Pokemon out.
Hmm. Here's a weird thought.
Yeah.
They don't do the re-releases or anything like it for the remakes. What the hell are they going to do for Black and White?
That's what I'm curious
Because
about. I like
Black and White was its own game, and then Black Two and White Two weren't like updated re-releases with a bunch of extra features. I mean,
they
it
are
did
their own
have
games.
it did have a bunch of extra features, but it was like a second game in the same setting 2 years later, telling a completely different story that continued the first ones.
Yeah, either gotta do one of two things. The first of which is what I think they're going to do, which is just remake Black One on White One, and
Mm.
don't worry about the sequel. Alternatively, the cool thing to do would be to bundle them in the sense that like the post game of Black One is you've unlocked like Black Two, for example.
Mm.
But
It's certainly an awkward situation.
that's only something that I could see happening. If it was not Game Freak developing that one as well.
Yeah, considering how successful this one has been, they'll probably just farm it out again.
Give it to ILCA again. They did great.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, even some of the gym battles, like you can get rocked real
Mm.
hard if you're not prepared.
Usually, from what I've seen, it tends to be getting earthed more than getting rocked. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All of them actually have their own difficulties. Although some people like if you are prepared and you have a good team for it, you can really just have a good time of it and knock them
Mm.
down. In the case of me with my Nuzlocke, where I'm catching Pokemon that don't always have the best natures, and I don't always get to have a lot of choice with what I'm bringing in. I had like I think throughout my run before I wiped to the Elite Four, I had like 7 deaths, which is more than you could. It's more than the last game
Mm.
because Sword and Shield are just really really easy. It's also one last thing. The experience share in this game is incredibly well balanced because they use an always on experience share,
Yeah,
and
but it's not massive. It's to the
yeah,
point where the main Pokemon that did the fight still gets a lion's share of the experience, but the others get a little bit.
and it scales based on level as well.
Mm.
So what you're going to find is that all of your Pokemon are going to be around the same level, unless you have just one Pokemon that's fighting all the time, in which case it will pull ahead a bit. But for the most part, they're just naturally going to be around the same level.
Yeah.
So speeds up if they're at a lower level, slows down if they're at a higher level, and I never felt over leveled. Like
Mm.
there was a time when I was like 10 levels higher, and I still got my teeth kicked in on occasion.
Yeah.
Um, and then when I got to the Elite Four and Cynthia, I was on par with their level,
Yeah.
and that was no good. I felt like I should have been either leveled a bit more or just smarter with how I played.
Hmm. Video games.
Yeah, and you know what? It's Nuzlocke rent friendly because the underground, the Pokemon down there, They scale with your gym badge progress / Elite Four defeating progress. So if you lose a Pokemon and be like, oh, I have a free catch from this gym, just go to the underground and grab something at the level that you want, like that you don't have to train it up forever.
Mm.
So that's kind of how I treated the underground. Was you get one you get one catch down there normally, and then you get a free. You can use your free catches from defeating gyms for that.
Yeah, that's not a standard Nuzlocke rule, so you used a modified rule set for that.
Yeah, I it the way I see it, uh, Nuzlocke rules are for your own enjoyment.
Oh yeah,
So I just wanted to. I feel like that way I had the most fun and just being like least grindy.
yeah.
Uh, one of my friends has the rule where they can sacrifice one of their Pokemon they caught at the altar to revive another Pokemon.
That's macabre.
It's like, hey, if you really, 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 really want to keep that one Pokemon alive, sure.
I'd mm, I'd say if I were to come up with a bullshit rule like that, it would be something like if a Pokemon dies, you can sacrifice another Pokemon and catch a ghost type. It has to be a ghost type of something.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. Oh, yeah. That's basically been a lot of what I've been doing in terms of video games. It's just been Pokemon, Pokemon, Pokemon. I'm back in. I'm having fun. I'm going to the underground with my friends. Oh, by the way, in the underground, there's like a special Diglett bonus, which is everybody can get these special gems from these Diglets that leave them behind. And when you are like online in an underground with like 20 other people and they're all getting those little Diglett gems, it fills up really quickly, and you have like a sort of a rush mode, or for like 5 minutes chances of getting a shiny Pokemon are doubled, and you get rarer items when you mine. So like that's just a fun little special thing.
What I wouldn't give to have the sound effect for the Diglett Rush be the song.
Diglett dig.
Diglett Dig.
It's just a whistle
Um,
that blows, and it's like, okay, go now. But yeah, it's got modern conveniences, so you can access your box from anywhere. And at the Battle Tower, you can get the mints from Sword and Shield that allow you to change a Pokemon's nature, or change their ability to a hidden ability, or another ability that they may have that's not a hidden ability. So like a lot of they also have the IV checker, which you can get at the in the post game.
mm.
So if you really want, you can take your team and really max out their potential, which I find pretty nice.
Yeah, it's the right time to do that in post game. They pretty much want you to play a Pokemon game like you're a good guy, and then if you want to be a pro PvP schmuck, then you can do that shit after you're finished being the nice guy. Or girl, as the case may be.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Aside from all of the Pokemon talk, Thanksgiving happened.
It did.
My brother came back home for that. We had a nice big juicy turkey, and stuffing and everything. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
My mom made a homemade pie, apple pie, and it was her first time making an apple pie. And like it looked really, really good.
Oh, this is gonna be okay.
And we got it, and we had it with some ice cream. And when it was with the ice cream, it was pretty good. The problem is the pie itself was rather tart because the recipe my mom followed had her use like green apples, Granny Smith apples, I believe.
Yeah, no, there are actual cooking apples that you're supposed to use for cooking.
Well, she was just following a recipe.
Yeah, well,
She's trying her best.
yeah, that's fair
And
enough.
my grandma couldn't come, um, but my grandma did get a piece of the pie, and she was my mom was driving home with my dad, and my dad gets called by his mom, my grandma, and he picks up, and she's on speaker, and everybody in the car can hear her, and she starts talking about, oh, don't tell her I said this, but that pie was terrible. And my mom's right there, and it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, ma. it She tried her best.
Yeah,
We were very excited for the pie, and I think it was fine when paired with the sweetness of ice cream,
yeah,
but on its own, no, it needs some help. Let's
it
see.
was a valiant attempt at the
Oh
um
yeah.
old fashioned homemaker style of thing that no one has any fucking time for nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I, I I think that the world of baking is a rather a rather terrifying one. Um, there's so much to it.
I mean, I am watching cookies fight cakes currently, so yeah, there's an element of horror involved. I agree.
Yeah. I've just been playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what else did I do? And I did see. Oh, I saw the first couple episodes of the Wheel of Time show
Oh,
because there is a Wheel of Time show.
there is. Based on the books by, I want to say Robert Jordan. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, based on the books, but yeah, Robert Jordan.
Hey, good for me. I remembered.
Uh, it's interesting. It's like it's the show is when it was started airing on like Amazon Prime,
Mm.
and I never read the books,
I haven't read them either. So,
but I have heard of the books.
mm.
So essentially, there's this whole prophecy that
Naturally.
there is this prophesized dragon reborn of what this ancient powerful like magic user or called dragon, or it is a dragon, I'm not quite sure, was super evil in the past but was killed and has been reborn as one of the youths in this land, um and we don't know who it is, but
Mm.
there's like five teens that are like maybe you. Um, I don't have full thoughts on it. I do like having a good fantasy show to watch, a live action fantasy show. You know that after you know Witcher is not back yet, and Game of Thrones ended the way Game of Thrones did.
Yeah, let's not beat that dead horse it has been beaten into paste. Glue, I suppose. It's a horse. But, you know.
And it's a bit slow going at first, but like there's this whole like magic system, and I think only the females can use the magic system without going insane, because if men use it, they go nutso. They start having like hallucinations and start to lose their grip on their sanity.
Mm.
And if one of those five, so I'm predicting that if one of those five teens is the dragon and is a male, they might start to go super crazy, and may either end up destroying humanity or destroying themselves. You know, becoming the villain. I don't know, or maybe they'll be the hero. It's real. It's basic fantasy stuff right now. I don't got much to say except they have this really cool encounter with this city that is super, super, super cursed, and was really fun to watch because there's like these black shadows that sweep across it and just decay anything that they touch into dust.
Hmm.
So I also saw the first two episodes of Hawkeye. Did you catch that?
Oh, yeah,
Hawkeye?
Hawkeye, yeah. Yeah. That is
The
the thing.
Chris Hawkeye wants to be home with his family for Christmas. Um, there's a lot of focus placed on Kate Bishop, as she is it, it's the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop show, and I really like Kate Bishop.
Mm.
From what we see of her, she has a big amount of the spotlight, so we get to understand her character, how she's like. You get a flashback back to 2012 when New York was being attacked by the aliens, and her home gets attacked, and she's in New York, and she sees out through the broken remains of her father's study. An alien is going to shoot this big laser and kill her, and then all of a sudden an arrow comes out of nowhere and takes it down, and you see in the distance Hawkeye fighting against an army of aliens with a bow and arrow, and he looks really, really cool from this angle. It's, like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Of
People
just
shit on him a lot, and he was still a fucking hero on the front lines. And it's maybe a good thing that they decided to acknowledge it this way rather than trying to make him a bigger spot, I guess.
there's a whole part where Bishop and Hawkeye are talking, and she's like, "Well, you gotta really sell yourself more," and he's like, "Nope, I'm not selling anything." And she's like, "Well, I know you're really low key and people are really into that, but right now, you know, with everything being the way it is, what they need are they need sincerity. They need to show your heart on your sleeve." And he's just he likes being the low key, um, not going to be a big deal, big product placement type of guy.
Yeah.
Small scale stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of the conflict so far has been small scale, and there's good fight choreography. And um, there's something to be said that okay, I'll start off with this, just a little bit about the first episode. One of the things they actually deal with in this show is the whole Ronin thing that happened, where he went and became a criminal killer for like the 5 years that his family was gone.
Yep.
And he's retired from all of that. You know, he's living with his family, and it's all good. And Kate Bishop ends up finding her way into an underground black market auction where they are selling some stuff that they recovered from the wreckage of the Avengers compound, and they find the sword. They bring out the sword of Ronin, and then his costume. And then there's an attack, and Kate Bishop ends up throwing on the costume so people don't recognize her. And then like Hawkeye's just chilling at home. He's chilling in the hotel with his kids because they were just going up to see the Broadway the Broadway show called Rogers, which was about the Avengers. And it's really funny. You see a bit of it, and they're all just...
Please tell me it's like a rap musical? Just Hamilton style?
It is... It is not Hamilton style.
Damn it.
It is as silly and flamboyant as you can get. And Hawkeye's just sitting there having PTSD the whole time. It's great. And he sees his costume, his Ronin costume, is on the news, and he's just like, "Oh no!" And then he has to go and get his costume back, and things happen, and then eventually his costume ends up getting separated from him again, and he's with Kate Bishop, and it's like, okay, you got your costume back, but it was taken by a firefighter when a fire broke out at the place that you were staying at, and now it's in the possession of a LARPer. And then Hawkeye has to go LARPing to get his costume back.
This sounds like a weird show.
Oh, it's fun. Hawkeye is a very serious... he's very serious, but he's also being put in some silly situations, and the show has fun with itself. I'm enjoying my time with it. So I look forward to more. That's it for me.
Yeah.
What about you? How you doing?
I bought a video game because Steam sale. It's a thing that's happening right now.
Okay.
At the time of recording, at the time of release, it might have been over for like 5 days or something because I'm an idiot and I suck. But yeah, I bought Deep Rock Galactic.
Deep Rock Galactic. Okay.
Have you never heard of this game?
I have not.
That is mildly surprising because it is a pretty popular game. What it is it's Payday with mining.
Oh.
That is the fastest and most convenient way to describe it. It is a 4-player co-op game where you are miners who have a very dwarf aesthetic, and you can taunt by shouting, I think it's rock and stone or earth and stone or something. And it's future sci-fi stuff. You are hired by a giant corporation that is interested in, mining planets for resources. Planets happen to be infested with giant bugs and monsters and shit. So you have... the gameplay sequence revolves around hunting through tunnels for veins of valuable minerals or alien eggs or whatever the mission happens to request. And every now and again, a bunch of monsters will come and attack, and you need to fend them off before you can get back to mining. So it's sort of a Payday / Left 4 Dead kind of thing, with each of the different characters having different abilities. Like there's one that has a gun that can make platforms. There's one that can make a grapple line that anyone can use. There's one that has a grapple gun that can grapple to anywhere, and but only for themselves. And there is one. What was the last one? Oh, there's one that can that has really powerful drills, so they can dig really fast.
Hmm. Okay. So, Space Dwarf, Left 4 Dead, Payday, get the monies.
Get the money, hit the extraction button, and then run for the escape pod. Because naturally, when you hit the button for the escape pod and the escape pod comes down, it smashes through the entire fucking area, which alerts all of the bug monsters that will constantly chase you until you leave.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. You can play it solo. And to make up for the fact that you don't have a full party that has the full range of abilities, you get this little robot buddy called Bosco. And
Okay.
Bosco can fly, it can shoot, it can mine, and you basically just have a laser pointer and say, hey, Bosco, do the thing over there. And based on context, like if you point at minerals, it'll dig. If you point at just a random spot, it will light it up for you so you can see. If you point at enemies, it'll go and kill the enemies, or try to. And if you go down, it can resurrect you, because, again, if you're playing solo, you don't have people that can pick you up. So it will do that for you.
So you've been playing it a lot then? Or did you just get started with it?
I have pretty much just gotten started with it. I've played like 3-4 rounds. One was a very doomed round where I dug into a mineral vein and found, hey, there's a thing down there. There's like a cave tunnel underneath this, and it's got a really weird monument thing. I don't know what that's about. But it is surrounded by enemies, so I have this grenade launcher. I'll just shoot one down and kill that thing, and then maybe I can take a look. The grenade didn't kill the thing, and because it's a giant bug, it can just climb up through the hole and kill me, or in this case, just drag me down through the hole. And that was how I got myself shit stomped by like a dozen bugs at once. Yeah, that was I think I hit the button to just like, no, this is not a run I want to continue. I give up on this one. This one's doomed.
Gotta be careful.
Would never dig straight down, I guess. It's not quite as applicable in this game, but you know, it's always good general advice. But yeah, I've had some fun with it. Getting some good music on in the background and just you know, good music for mining in deep space and such. So I have had the entire Coheed and Cambria discography just on in the background, and I had no idea how perfect a match it was until a chorus came on. Man your own jackhammers. Like, fucking yeah. Man your battle stations, we'll have you dead pretty soon. It's fucking great. Couldn't have picked a better fucking soundtrack for this shit. It's great. So that was a good time. I've had some fun with that. Not really played it for very long. It does feel like it's one of those games where it would be way better to play a co-op. But I'm still getting to get grips with it, so I may or may not try co-op later on. Once I've done all the tutorial missions and stuff, I might give it a try. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, so that's good stuff.
Yeah, sounds fun. I just remembered there was a Steam sale, and I'm like, oh wait, Cyber Monday.
Yeah, that's a thing. I was considering buying a new microwave because Amazon was like, hey, Black Friday, buy stuff. And my microwave's fucked up and keeps like sounding like it's trying to chew through steel. But it still works. It's fine. I'll leave it to maybe the January sales. See if I can keep it going for a little bit longer.
Oh, hey, you know what you can buy on sale? Conception Plus.
That's the first one, though, so, it's even worse than the second one that we played. Oh, fuck.
Conception. Oh. Oh.
That was a game. That was. If that game had, like, 30% of the grinding it has, it would probably have been a way better game.
Yeah. Also, there's like a
God damn.
ReZero visual novel game.
Of course there is.
It's a tactical adventure game? Excuse me? What? Okay.
That also sounds entirely plausible. Like, that series is about the level where it gets cheap cash-ins from fans. I can see that.
I went into the I went and I looked at the Steam. I went into the anime section, and you never know what you're gonna find, whether it be Sword Art Online or Sword Art Online.
Speaking of cheap cash-ins for fans, I purchased Dragon Ball Z Kakarot after I watched a video on it, and it seemed actually kind of okay.
I enjoyed my time with that game.
Yeah, a solid 7 out of 10 is what people have said, and
Yeah, that's fair.
With that. Yeah. I'm always in for like CyberConnect stuff. Like, it described the fighting as very much like the Naruto games, which I liked all of those. So yeah, okay.
There's also a racing game based off of the filler episode where Goku needs to get a license.
Yeah, that also might have been a thing that sold me on it a little bit. Like, there are a lot of things in that game, so yeah, okay, I'll give it a go and see what it's like.
I think I fell off it. I think it was I think it was right after the Frieza saga is when I began to really fall off of it. I don't think I made it to Cell.
Yeah, well, like, the Frieza saga is probably the point where people would fall off, because that is where all of the wacky side stuff kind of stops for a little bit while it deals with Namek, and then it comes back after Namek. So, like, it just focuses on all of the stuff on Earth. If you're on Earth, there's fun side stuff to do. If you're not, nah.
There's a ton of stuff that just like all unlocks at once.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't remember my exact problems with the game because it's been so long, but
probably repetitive combat, I would assume.
Yeah, I think that was a big one. Just a lot of a lot of repetition, and I got burnt out.
So yeah, I bought that literally half an hour before we started recording and installed it. So that's a thing I will be looking at some point, seeing how it is, and getting immersed in the Dragon Ball world in a way that I haven't at any point. Like, it's, once again, to remind people, I have not watched the anime, I didn't read the manga, I didn't do anything. The only thing I actually watched was the very tail end of Super. Like, I watched from after, towards the end of when they were gathering a team for the Tournament of Power. That's when I started watching, and I watched all of that arc, and that was it.
That's going to be pretty interesting. One thing I do want to bring up is that I feel like Kakarot does something really nice, which is it does reference OG Dragon Ball quite a bit.
Yeah, like a lot of what the video I watched talked about was how it fills in a lot of blanks of the setting. Like, hey, someone remember that Launch exists.
Yes.
Is a thing. Like, she is in that game, and that's nice to acknowledge. So, yeah, that is maybe a thing I am looking forward to about that game, alongside Goku getting a driver's license, and yeah.
Gas, gas, gas.
Anyway, yeah. So that'll be fun when I have some spare time. Like I am not. I don't have spare time currently. Like in that sense, playing video game like Deep Rock Galactic was probably a bad idea. But it it is frustrating as always. Where my attention span decides no, I'll do it later, and then it doesn't get done later, and it's 4 hours later, and I haven't done anything. Yeah, it's frustrating. But I did get some writing done. I got one of the commissions done that I needed to get done, which had been plaguing my fucking brain for a long time. Like, it is a frustrating one because it's an Invincible commission, right? The Amazon show, the comics. Which means there is an element of fucked up that you need to include for a story in that setting. Fucked up stuff happens in that setting, in that series.
It is exceedingly brutal, yes.
Yeah. So there was a point where I needed to follow that sort of tone and strike the balance of not overdoing it. And it's... First draft, as far as I'm concerned, went way too far. And second draft, maybe still a little bit too far. I'm not entirely sure. But the commissioner was fine with it. So we'll see how that is received by the public, who don't especially matter because it's a commission. But, it feels kind of shitty to say, hey, a large portion of my audience don't matter, but they are not the people paying me to write this thing. So that's how that goes.
That's commissions for you.
Yeah. But as for things that do actually, my audience at large do actually matter is the new fucking Scumbag chapter that comes out in whenever we're done recording this podcast, because that's how the timing is lined up. And I don't learn my lessons, apparently, because even though I know last time I released a chapter for this, it fucked me up to the point where I found it difficult to write for 3 days, I still want to release this as soon as I fucking possibly can. Because I want to know what people think, even if they think it's shit, because, people are assholes. Yeah. It's been a weird trend over the past few weeks of people complaining about things in my stories that have always been in that particular story, and now suddenly it's a problem, and I'm not entirely sure why. It's been a weird trend. I don't know what that was about, but...
Yeah, that is weird. I don't know, maybe you attracted some new people to your stories, and they're just kind of jerks.
Just voicing the problems that they had while they were reading it.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, if that's the case, that's fair enough.
Because it's one thing, I think who is saying all this stuff kind of matters, because if it's people who have been with you since day one, they're going to have a very different approach from somebody who just walked into the room with their pizza.
Why pizza, though?
It's the meme of they walked into the room with the pizza and the room's on fire.
Yeah, I remember Community. That was a good show. It was mostly a good show. It was like 3 seasons of a good show.
Fraction of a good show.
Never did get that movie though. Community jokes from a show that finished like 6 fucking years ago or something. Good times.
There's this feeling I get in my chest, which is like every single meme that I am used to seeing will eventually fade into being never used, or if you see this meme, you know this person is this years old because because there are people who will just have no idea what that thing is.
If you see peanut butter jelly time in the wild, you know that person has been on the internet since 2006.
It's just, as somebody who works with kids a lot, every time. Do you play Fortnite? No, I don't play Fortnite. Do you play Call of Duty Ghosts? Don't play Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. There's got to be some hip kids in your classes that played like Persona and shit, though, right?
Um, I don't know, but you mentioned anime, and they all watch anime.
Oh yeah, that is the thing now. Mm.
The kids are overjoyed to have somebody who watches anime teach them.
Yeah.
There's I was once teaching for like I think it was a fifth grade class, and we were doing like one of those activities where you have to put in like a noun or an adjective, and you're filling in the blanks for a story, right?
Mm.
And I needed a noun, and one of the kids said Aaron Yeager,
Well, that's a proper noun, but okay.
and I said sure. And it was about like a farm and these chickens, and it's like, and from the eggs hatched soft, fluffy Aaron Yeagers.
The fluffy part is probably like soft. He was soft at a time. There was a time when he was soft, but now he's fluffy. Like got big poofy hair, I guess.
Over time, the aversion to anime has just disappeared.
Mm.
It's just a thing now that everybody, that all the kids know about and watch. Because like when I was first, like when I was a kid, right?
Mm.
I didn't even know that the things I was watching were anime.
Yeah, like fucking Pokemon and Dragon Ball, I guess, at the time.
Right? So like I find it really interesting.
Yeah, they were just cartoons with really neat and distinctive art styles.
Yeah, exactly. And
And
you didn't
occasionally very, very bloody.
occasionally mom says you can't watch it
Hmm.
because it'll make you violent. Because her friend's son is violent. And I'm like, Mom, he's violent because he's violent. Nothing to do with anime made that kid violent.
Hmm.
I think things with his parents had to do with him being violent, you know.
Hmm.
Like
I didn't watch anime growing up. That was not a thing that I did at any point. Like, I
that's when
came into it so late. Like, I was 20 or something.
that's when I first saw Dragon Ball and One Piece. Those were my first anime. Oh, and Pokemon, the Pokemon anime, of course.
Hmm.
So it was like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Pokemon, Yu Yu Hakusho. Like that's when I got really introduced to all those things, was on like Saturday Night Toonami
Hmm.
or Saturday morning cartoons, and occasionally, in which then I caught Sonic X as well during that time
Oh,
period.
God, that was an anime.
Yeah,
It's it's hard to remember that that wasn't actually developed by Fox Kids.
there's a lot of anime. They did. I mean, heck, I even watched a bit of Sailor Moon because my sister and everything.
Hmm.
And even sometimes I'd catch it and I'd be like, you know what? I don't know what the show's about. I'll watch it. I remember nothing from it.
Uh, I don't know anything about Sailor Moon except Tuxedo Mask and Lesbian Cousins.
Okay, I didn't know about the lesbian cousins, but
That was a
hey.
localization thing, like because there were two girls in the Sailor Scouts that were kind of implied to be um, and that was not okay in the fucking 90s. That was not okay. Mm-mm. Um, so they decided, hey, they're affectionate on screen a lot, but let's just make them, family, so it's less weird. It did not make it less weird. It made it way, way more weird.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was some iffy decisions in terms of localization and censoring back in the day. They they had to make some calls, and there were pretty much no good ones. But
I mean,
even then, they made some ones that were especially exceptionally bad.
I also like. Okay, I did watch the Yu-Gi-Oh anime as a kid until my mom said I couldn't watch it because it was summoning monsters or something. Um, and she said I couldn't watch Dragon Ball because it was violent, so I had to go back to that one later on. Uh,
Yeah,
One Piece.
watch out! If I watch this show anymore, I might launch a fireball at you. Like,
One Piece, I was able to get, and I eventually went back and was able to watch it later on. Dragon Ball, and I mean, mom said I couldn't play RuneScape because again, her friend's son is violent and he played RuneScape.
yeah, it's really weird things to pick out about that kid's behavior, like the small minutia of things you know about him happen to be the things that are the cause of violence. Just like the very surface details about his life, the very tiny little pieces that you know about, and you're just saying, "Oh, that must be it." Like, wow, okay.
Oh, I just remembered something because we were
Mm,
reminiscing about youth.
yeah,
I found my old Pokemon cards.
we're old men. Sorry. Yeah, you said we're reminiscing about our youth, and I'm like, yeah, we're fucking old. Pokemon cards, like
Yes,
early ones.
yes. My sister had Pokemon cards that were early, and I got them a little bit later. But we both had Pokemon cards when we were kids, and my sister's Pokemon cards are from when they were first coming out.
Yeah, mine are too,
So
wherever they are.
we uh we found some pretty valuable cards in there.
Oh yeah,
I think the most valuable one that I noticed off the bat was the shiny Mewtwo card, which I saw going for sale from anywhere from like $140 to like 450.
mm,
Some of the other cards in there have previously sold for like $500 or $600. So I mean, I could sell those cards,
you could.
but they're a bit damaged. So
Mm,
mm, some of them are not, but I don't know. I'm gonna look through it and see if I can actually
yeah,
make some money. I want to keep that shiny Mewtwo for myself though. That was my favorite card as a kid.
yeah. Put the valuable ones in plastic sleeves so they don't get any worse. And,
Yeah.
all the basic preservation stuff that people do. There are probably guides on that sort of thing on how to preserve cards.
But like, yeah, we were looking for those for a while and we just found them. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Um Freaking all the Pokemon cards just kind of vanished off the shelves from the whole like NFT thing.
that's depressing, but okay.
Yeah, people went and started buying them in droves and you can't get them in stores anymore. Cards in general are just really hard to get. It
I,
is very depressing.
I look forward to when the NFT thing dies.
Yeah, me too. I don't like how it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Like, cryptocurrency is a thing, and there's something to that, but NFTs are such a fucking scam, and it's so obvious.
It's a big scam. At least with cryptocurrency, it's just people stealing money from each other.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. If that's the game you want to play, then go ahead. I don't care. But like, um, it, NFT not only does the whole thing just harm the environment, um, it also harms artists.
It
It
harms
also,
everyone. It harms everyone except the person selling it because it's literally the
yes,
fucking I've got a bridge to sell you scam.
it's the worst. And I, the companies that start showing up being like, "Oh, now we have our new NFT," are either woefully ignorant or just showing their evil side.
Mm,
And the latter is the more likely situation.
yeah.
Ugh. But it's okay. I I have my Pokemon cards,
Yeah.
and I'm currently hyperfixated on Pokemon.
You have your Pokemon cards until some fuckhead comes along and says they own the image of that Pokemon card.
Nah. See, I own it, so you're a liar.
Yeah. That is the weirdest thing about NFTs. Like someone just coming up, scanning an image, saying they now own that image because they've taken a picture of it, effectively, and then trying to sell that right to the image to someone else when they never owned it in the first place. And the only evidence they have that they own it is a license that they printed themselves.
Totally
Like,
not a scam.
wow.
I love the people pissing off the NFT guys with like right click save as.
Mm.
And then just the warning of, but no, I own it. It's like, no. No, you see it's mine now. I think the NFL just recently did like an NFT thing as well. But you know, we know they're terrible.
There we go. Episode
Yeah.
title.
Pun.
Yep, I have totally been working that up here and it pointing to my head up here for the past like 3 minutes. Yep.
Oh, so I guess going back to Pokemon real quick, I want to mention something that I remembered.
Yeah, let's talk about things that are fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was really, really losing against Cynthia, and the reason why I was losing is because my Lucario was useless. That didn't help, and my team was a little bit lower leveled. So I wanted to fight and defeat Cynthia without using any revives. I just want to have a straight up like honest fight,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so I replaced my Lucario with a Bronzor that I caught and evolved into a Bronzong.
Mm.
I don't like Bronzong, so I named it Poop.
Okay, very mature, Mr. Teacher Man.
And when it evolved into Bronzong, I have the screenshot. It says, Poop wants to learn Block. And I had a lot of fun with that.
That's not a situation you want to be in. Poop that knows Block, that's not going anywhere.
And
it also knows Surf.
So I sent out my poop to go fight Cynthia, so I could tank. Mainly didn't really help so much with Cynthia as it did with everything else. But also, I got to bring out during the Cynthia fight, so I could tank while I could, heal up some of my Pokemon.
Wait, so you wanted to poop in the tank? Isn't that called an upper decker?
It's a steel type. This is a hard poop.
Yeah. Fucking a lot of red meat for dinner. Ooh.
So now, in the records of the Hall of Fame, there is a Bronzong named Poop, enshrined forever. You really gotta go outside your comfort zone sometimes with Pokemon, and really just find Pokemon that you wouldn't normally use.
There are so many jokes right there involving Cynthia and scat pornography. And I just don't want to even touch them because they probably smell quite bad. Let's be honest.
Just throw your poop at Cynthia. She can't win against it.
Just to make it clear to YouTube, I'm just going to say it explicitly. No. Before I even have to put it in the options for uploading this video, no, this episode is not for kids. We talked about Pokemon a lot. But I don't think this is appropriate for young ears, just to make it perfectly clear to YouTube. So, yeah. Yep. Scat. Scat.
I'm the Scat Man. You want to talk about old internet things? That's old internet.
I feel like Scatman got a resurgence in the past 6 years. That's not that old internet.
He had a resurgence. But when I think of that, I don't know if anybody listening is going to remember this, but there were these old Mario 64 videos that tried to do their own storylines with text appearing on screen and mods and stuff changing textures and things. And there was a part where they would play Scatman songs when Mario was jumping or flying or doing something random.
No idea. No, my understanding of the internet phenomenon of Scatman belongs to... First, it was Todd in the Shadows episode on him for One Hit Wonderland, where it looks at careers of artists known for only one song. I think I actually just did the fucking intro screen for that series. But yeah, just going into how fucking cool Scatman John actually was.
Oh yeah, he's super cool.
He's so amazing. Oh my god. A proper fucking jazz pianist, and he took up scat singing and sings because of a really bad stutter that he has. And then all of his songs are about how everyone should just be the best type of person that they can be, and he imagines a world where everyone gets along and there's peace and there's no political corruption. It's so fucking lovely and sweet.
Yeah.
And, oh,
he's a really good guy.
Yeah, he was a really good guy.
Yeah, he was.
Right when he got big, and then he...
he spent a lot of his life feeling like he couldn't go into music and do music because he has a really bad stutter. But his wife really encouraged him, and he went out and decided to sing and spread a positive message.
Yeah.
And had a very, very happy end to his life.
That man kept performing right up until he collapsed on stage because of the cancer that he had, that he never told anyone about. That was a great man.
Pour one out for you, Scatman John.
So great. But yeah, that's where the phenomenon of Scatman started for me. Like, I liked the song when I was like 5. Like, I really enjoyed it. But then that video came out and opened my eyes for how great he is, and a lot of other people as well, from my understanding. And then fucking Fubuki, man.
Yes, Fubuki brought it back.
Yeah, that just fucking. Because appropriately enough, Scatman John is one of the best-selling artists in Japan.
Yeah.
They fucking love that guy, as they should. As everyone should. He was a good man.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone respects Scatman John.
Scatman's World is a very good song.
God. What a world we live in where we now know a second Scatman song. Oh, that guy was like a punchline for like 20 years to me because of that one song that everyone made fun of because it was so silly, even though it really wasn't. It was a song about how he stutters and he turned that into his career. Like, that's really fucking inspiring shit if you actually listen to it beyond the
The lyrics in general are just very, very positive.
yeah.
He's just like, hey, no need to be hating. It's gonna be okay. We're all brothers and sisters.
I recommend to everyone listening to this podcast to look up the virtual duet he did with Louis Armstrong called I think it was Everybody Jam. So yeah, that is a very good song. Yeah, that is a fun time. Just makes you feel good to listen to it.
You hear about the new coronavirus variant?
No, I didn't.
It's called Omicron.
Welcome.
Omicron. Curse you, David Cage.
I have watched that fucking Taco Funbox did a compilation of the best moments of that Let's Play by the Best Friends. It is like 5.5 hours long. Just the compilation of the best bits. I have watched it like 6 times.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Welcome in Omicron. Oh, have you seen Wooly is doing he's been doing Dokapon Journey.
I don't know what that is.
Dokapon is the RPG Mario Party-esque, Monopoly-esque board game, video game that you can really just screw your friends over. It's a friendship destroyer.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did a Dokapon Kingdom Let's Play a while back, and that was, I think, my favorite Let's Play he's done with Reggie and Min. And this one is shaping up to be just as good. Because Dokapon Journey is a DS game. And it's less nice than Dokapon Kingdom. And there's just mind games because you're basically like you pick your class and you go through and you have turn-based battles and everything, in which you can attack, use magic, use a skill, or strike, and then you can do, and then you defend, use a magic defense, counter, or give up, and the strikes will ignore defense. But if they are countered, then you get hit for a ridiculous amount of damage. Whereas defense will reduce attacks, and magic defense works against magic attacks and stuff like that. And so you can, you're all RPG little characters on the board, and if you land on the same open space, you can fight each other, murder your friends, take their belongings, throw away their weapon, or like take all of their money, or change their character name. And it's just whoever has the most money and the most value by owning the like most worth in towns and stuff, by the end of the game wins. But you're also trying to advance like through a story mode and do objectives. It's a very fun game series to watch. Of just how badly can you screw over the other people so that you win.
Okay. I've got nothing for that. That
Yeah.
kind
A little
of
tangent.
flew over my head a little bit.
Okay, it's Dokapon. You should look into it.
I mean, I don't play multiplayer games, so that's.
No. Just watch other people kill each other and fight for money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I was recommending it from the perspective of watching like Woolie's channel, Woolie Versus, do it because it's very entertaining. Because mind games.
Now I kind of want to watch that series that Rooster Teeth did of playing. I think it was Monopoly for real money. Back in the day, that was years ago. But
yeah, that's actually the Woolie's channel. They have a blood pool that people donate to, and the winner gets all of the money in the blood pool.
wow, okay, that's the thing.
Yes. It was not their idea. It was the idea of somebody who donated back in Dokapon Kingdom, and like I'm putting this towards a blood pool, and they read it out loud, and it's like, well, now that's a thing. That has to be a thing now because he read it out loud, and yeah. Would you stab a friend over hundreds of dollars
No,
that they won in a video game?
hundreds of dollars isn't a lot, especially now. Hundreds of dollars isn't a lot.
Well,
$10,000 we can talk.
I've been watching freaking interrogation analysis videos again.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching those before in full pandemic time because it's just like I got nothing else to do, and I found more where they go into the whole what the crime happened and how the police work to kind of get those answers and those confessions that they need.
Okay, but you also ostensibly have better things to do now. Also, I may be talking a little fast because I would really like to end the episode because I need to pee.
Okay. Well, then we can end the episode since you need to go use the bathroom.
Is there anything actually worth talking about that's not fucking police crime drama bullshit that my stepdad watches because he can't leave the house? He watches a lot of that shit.
I was just watching that because, like, it's Thanksgiving. I can't work. I'm just inside, and I want to do something while I'm freaking grinding for trying to get a shiny Giratina. But no, I got nothing.
Okay. Discord link in the description, Patreon link in the description. Bye, everybody.
Bye.